Go.
I'm Kurt Henthorn.
I'm Anthony Soellner. This is the automated bartender.
Alright, so first of all, to log into the system, you come over to your HMI screen, enter, successful login. Our system is already initialized, I'll set that up, we'll explain in a second. But then let's go over here. Here's our system right here, here's our air pump, our high pressure tank, which has a pressure transmitter on it, which then transfers this information to the PLC, which we use to control the pump, which we'll explain in a second. This is where our air regulator should be. We're getting it back this week, according to the manufacturer. Alright, so that will regulate the air pressure down to 2 psi in our low pressure tank, which is here. This then low pressure will be transferred to all of the bottles through this tube here. Will be attached to the long thin tube. And here's like an example of it. Right here what will happen, there's all these T connections. So this will be our 2 psi tube. It'll come in here and pressurize the bottle at 2 psi. And if you look at this cap, that stops here, the pressure. And then this tube runs down to the bottom of the bottle. So then this tube runs over here to the valve. And then when this valve opens, the pressure in here forces the liquid level down and liquid out and into our funnel and down into our glass. So we have everything wired up here. As you can see, we have a digital output card, actually 2 digital output cards. This one is controlling the pump, and all the valves are attached to this one. This just outputs 12 volts to all the valves, which they run on. This is our analog card that receives the information from the pump. So essentially what we're going to have our pump do is always keep the pressure in that high tank between 5 and ideally 40 psi, but as of now we don't have the pressure regulator, so we don't want to put more than 10 psi in our low pressure tank. So you'll see over here, that once the pressure drops below 5, it'll go back up to 8 and stop. So that will be 40 psi in our final system, and yes, the pump is loud, but that will likely only come on once every hour or two.
Plus we can put it into enclosure.
And then, as for our programming, if you come over here, I already showed you the login. We went through this a little bit in our presentation, but what we have done right now is you can add a bottle. So if you go to add a bottle, we still only have whiskey in the system. Adding more drinks is just grunt work. It's not like development. So this is basically all done in theory. It's just not all entered in here. So we click whatever whiskey we want, Knob Creek, select. You see the size here. You can select a liter, and then you confirm. And then your Knob Creek is in slot 1. If you go to slot 2, it's gone. If you go back to slot 1, it's there. We've been through this. We also have the program work done to dispense the valves in time. However, we have not dosed yet because our pressure regulator is gone, so pretty much committed to our pressure system at this point. Okay, so here we are on our add bottles screen, but if you go to your system status screen, you can see that in slot 1, and this is all a rough screen, this is not done, and it'll hopefully look better than just a red bar. You can see that we have 100 of 100 milliliters here, and Knob Creek in slot 1. And if we go back to that, we're just going to pretend we're adding a new bottle to adjust that level. Really, this would just adjust when liquid was dosed. But if we say other amount and say we take a liter and say it's half full, like there, we hit enter, and then we confirm that it's half full. If we go to system status, you'll see here that the bottle is listed as half full. And that'll be there for every single bottle. It'll show you current level. All we have for the main programming steps we have left to do is take all of the input drinks and output any drink that's available. And once that's done, or at least the development of our program is done, and it just becomes grunt work of adding drinks and adding all the different liquors to the system. That's pretty much where we are.
Thank you.